right, everybody. Welcome to the Studying Brew, episode 1176 on this beautiful Tuesday evening. We are going to do test take and techniques Tuesday. It is the night where you get the techniques to help you pass an exam. It doesn't matter if you know anything. It is your night. If you're that person who doesn't know anything, tonight is your night. You've been waiting your whole night, your whole life, probably, right? Maybe your whole study career, probably your whole schooling. You're like, can't there just be a way or night or something that's centered around not knowing anything that really caters to the fact that sometimes I just don't know anything? I want to know things. I try to remember things, but when it matters, man, I have a hard time remembering that. Man, it just doesn't click sometimes. Sometimes I just forget all the easy stuff. Sometimes I can't see what's going on the screen. I know my sugar's good, but sometimes I eat, I read the question and it looks all blurry. Got that blurry vision. I know you haven't been drinking and nothing makes sense. And again, you haven't been drinking. It's just one of those things, right? If you only had a technique and strategy that would help you get you back on course, get you back on track, get you right on schedule so you can get that pass notice and notice those questions and get you the help connect those answers so that way you can get a right one and ultimately get a pass notice. Tonight is your night on test taking techniques Tuesday. The one over there sighing heavily is Brandy. She's got her Series 6, 63, 26, 65, and her Series 7, which makes her more than qualified to teach you all the things you need to know so that way you too can get a pass notice. My name is Andy. I am the guy over here talking, but you're not here for me. We're here to talk about those test taking techniques tonight, right?
I feel like I'm on a spotlight.
Why are you on a spotlight?
It's very bright.
It's not. It is not bright.
Oh.
Are we gonna do that all night? It's like let's pause the show for you.
Yes, please.
Hold on.
Thank you. Ah, much
Wow.
not. Oh.
Not. Can I go back? ADD, ADHD took over. We had a great night. Our daughter, what? Was busy. Our daughter got first place in her league for cross country. Then an hour later, got several tackles in her football game, and then they won the game. It was a joint effort. She wasn't like the star player in the football game, but she was one of them. But you know how it is in team sports, major contributor, and it was really cool. A lot of stuff going on tonight. It was really busy and a lot of excitement. And I'm telling you this story so that I could tell you this story. So I was talking to one of the parents and like in crazy sports and I don't know, some of you might not be a parent or whatever, but maybe you went through it. I don't know. Particular with our athletes and some of the other athletes, some of them it's not good enough to just be a great scorer, but also get a 4.0 while they're doing it, or go take all these AP classes and all these stuff, advanced placement classes, and college prep classes. And anyways, I was talking to one of these parents and they were saying like their son is like, really struggling. Let's just say that. Smart kid, super smart, maybe even genius. I will never say that because his head will explode, but pretty dang smart. But one of the main what?
He's a good kid.
But one of the main problems he's struggling with is planning. Having a hard time with the fact that doesn't like to keep a planner. And then the other problem is has a hard time with the fact that failing or even getting a bad grade in something and then when it happens to you, when that happens, how do I want to say, not able to rebound, not able to take that in stride and say, look, I'm going to fail at some things and it's going to be on my way to ultimately have success at it. That not realizing sometimes, and this goes for all of you, that sometimes it's hard for you all to understand that you're going to have some bad scores on the way to the great scores. It's going to take some fails on the way to the pass notices. It's going to take some struggles on the way to the wins. And it's all goes together because there's no way, or you can't really enjoy a win when you've never felt the what do you call that?
The pain of a loss.
It was the actual, I was looking for NFL films. They have the something of defeat. I can't remember it.
Pain.
The pain of defeat. yeah, it just doesn't click. It just doesn't feel as good when you win because you haven't had that experience of all the defeats that lead up to that ultimate victory and just agony of defeat. Thank you. Another NFL films aficionado. Yes, agony of defeat. The agony of defeat. It's always like every single time. I don't know if I'm the only one that does this. I mean, this is a tangent, but man, when you have like that fail or you have that thing where you're not successful at it. I hear that guy from that film, the NFL documentaries from the 19 like 60s and 70s, and they're talking about the Super Bowls, and there's like the agony of defeat. I hear that in my head, and I don't know why, but it always makes me happier. Weird, because you know why? Because they're talking about the ultimate goal, championships. After that, from the agony of defeat, always comes the sweet victory. And this is what I was trying to tell you guys. Just like this kid, sometimes the pressure is so much that it's actually working against you psychologically because now you're like, I'm supposed to get this on the first try. I'm supposed to understand this on the first go. I'm supposed to know this. This is super, super easy. I feel like I'm smart. I know I'm smart. I don't understand why this isn't sticking. I don't understand why I can't get the pass notice. I don't understand why I keep going and then I don't get what I want, or I put in the work but I'm not, all these things, right? Sometimes it's just the psychology of it all. And the other part of it is just the planning of it all. You can't plan. If you can't plan something, if you can't stick to a schedule and you can't keep to it and you can't be consistent with it, and every single day is a surprise to you on what's done or what needs to be done, it makes it really hard for you to get that win. You want to say something? Or did you just realize you're making really loud noises near the microphone?
No,
Uh,
none of that. Just more like that's my life.
That's your life. Everything's a surprise sometimes.
Some-
But I don't think anybody understands. How do you get around it, Brandy?
Barely, if I could be completely transparent. No, guys, I have like three different planners. I have my to-do lists, I have my stickies, and I have a digital calendar and I have planners all over the house. And some things still fall through the cracks.
Imagine if you didn't. But look, hold up what you're doing underneath the desk there with your thingies. Look, guys, I'm telling you, the ADD is super real. I can't explain to you guys how much it is so hard or how hard it is for her to just sit there even for 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Every single time, and I don't know if you guys know this, but we delay before we get on is because I'm literally waiting for Brandy to settle down so we can start it because it's like a challenge. It's like a movement. It's a thing. It's like all these different things have to line up. Otherwise, the microphone's moving everywhere. We're moving the chair around. We're doing that, and I am like a person that has to have like, okay, let's do this. Let's lock in and focus and somehow ignore like the clicking sounds, the moving around, the fidgeting, the writing. Guys, it's a lot. And it's a lot. We are two different personalities,
So different.
but you might be like Brandy, or you might be like me. Brandy, she needs like 5 or 6 different, calendars to keep her on track. She needs several reminders. How many reminders did you have every day to keep you on track to quiz every day?
I had about 4 or 5 of them and they went off at random times. So, guys, I didn't have my alarm go off at 1 p.m. It went off at 1:03.
So as I'm like telling you all this about this one kid, but I'm telling you this right now. Brandy did not have the easiest time understanding this stuff. It was a struggle. She couldn't figure out why she couldn't figure it out.
Stupid tax
Literally,
chapter.
tax chapter would put on hold for almost a month. Literally, we had to walk around and with helmets on because she would throw stuff around the room. No, I'm just kidding. She wasn't that bad, but the book did go sailing a couple times. And there was lots of tears and there was tissues and there was like freaking out and there was the agony and there was like I can't sit there and study. And then we figured out the challenges together. Brandy, why don't you just like go ahead and like, pace the hallway? Oh yeah, that's a great idea. I'll pace the hallway. And that way she keeps her mind busy. It's one of those things. Even sitting through the exam was like a feat in itself because she had to work up to it like every day. How many days before did you take full quizzes?
14.
14 days before she had already started doing full quizzes just to get her mindset ready for that sitting there that long. Guys, it depends on how bad you want it, but also recognizing how many different little fails that it takes to get there.
Can I just say this real quick? We can literally live in a world that says I can't, or because of this I can't. Um, the world doesn't bend to that stuff. And so
The world doesn't care.
the world doesn't care. And FINRA doesn't care, and NASA doesn't care. So the only thing you can do is go, if I want this, I got to figure out ways to overcome the stuff that I can't.
And I will say this, that sometimes, especially with our younger studiers, it doesn't leave out the older ones either, or just regular, just people in general, but it tends to be a little bit more on the younger studiers. That's a hard concept.
Mhm.
That's a hard concept. There's sometimes they're like, can you just call FINRA and ask this? Can you make that? It, there's no amount of calls to anybody. It's just the way it is. It's just the unfairness of it all. It's just the way that goes. And like Brandy says, the world doesn't bend sometimes. You have to bend. Or sadly, some people just break. But if you can keep yourself fluid, if you can keep yourself figuring it out, overcoming these obstacles, just like Brandy did, you can get through it. Just like you might have to have 6, 7 different planners, just like you might have to have 6 or 7 different fidget toys around you, just like you might have to pace the hallways, just like you might have to take some, fails on the nose. Look, Brandy didn't pass the series 26 3 times. Luckily, she didn't. Honestly, it was the best thing ever. I know that some people, there's a song says the best prayers are the unanswered ones. Seriously, that was the best prayer ever, the unanswered one. Because look, without that, we wouldn't have Kona. She would not have gone back to the lab, as the kids say,
Yep.
and completely put together this whole program that we have here, helping out people to get these things done. Guys, we can't make this program any more real for you other than what we have here. It is all the course videos and everything we do, all the content that we have here. It's all the ways that Brandy breaks it down is just in the most simplest ways, the easiest ways, the most minimal ways, the most shortcuttiest ways of getting that content through to you, and then having those live sessions. Can you please show me how to apply that? Can you show me how to get through it? Guys, that's what those live sessions are for. In those Mondays, we do the study prep, shows you how to do, plan your time. How do you take notes? How do you get a schedule going? Mondays, study prep. Friday, how do you do a live quiz? Brandy does it. She shows you how to do it. She takes down questions just like you would. No picking of questions, just all random, just how you would do it. Start a quiz, go for it, and then explains the philosophy, explains how we get through that thing, how the strategy, the technique, how to break it down in that very way.
Yep.
So if you're not onto our program, join us. It will help out if you are going to join us for our workshop that we're going to talk about in a minute. There is a discount for that workshop that's coming up on October 12th. Members get discounts to any of our workshops. But also, it's going to help you get that pass notice because we have 21-day plans for the SIE, the 663, and 65. We have a 30-day or 60-day course videos, live exam sessions, all that stuff right there. Books for sale, SIE 663, 65. Kona community on the Discord, 951-290-3077. That's where you can reach me at, call or text, or in that email, KonaButterflyz@gmail.com. Scan the QR code, hit the links. All right, what do we got tomorrow? We have a reminder real quick that we do not have day sessions, but we will be back for the Studying Brew. But there is that October 12th workshop that's coming up. It doesn't matter what you're studying for as far as exams, as long as it's a multiple choice exam, that workshop will help you out and get that pass notice. It is everything I said about Tuesdays, except taken out of securities, helping you apply that or get that. What do I want to say? Make that connection outside of the securities world, so that way you have a better understanding of the techniques, and then that way you can start to apply it in the way you need to use it for those exams. Uh, it's going to be that edge that you need. It's a quick workshop. What do you want to talk about the course with a workshop? 4 hours, Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Be there, be there.
Yes.
You'll buy the whole seat, but you only need the edge. Now you're older. If
Yes.
someone can tell me where I got that from, then we're of the same cloth.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you want to say?
No, absolutely. It's where if you guys wanted to know how to really hone in on what we do, especially on Mondays and Tuesday nights on the Studying Brew, this this is teaching you exactly how to build that skill set and really start practicing it.
There you go.
And it's for every exam,
There you go.
every kind of exam.
Don't have to be a member. Don't have to subscribe. You can just go in there on that October 12th. We'll be in person and on Zoom. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. Test taking techniques Tuesday. We got rules of test taking techniques Tuesday. Rule number 1, and you're not allowed to ask what exam did that question come from. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. I know that it's hard for some people that really have to know, but it doesn't really matter at all because Brandy's going to show you how to get to that answer without really any content at all, right?
Absolutely.
You're going to enjoy it. So these are techniques that are going to help you get to a right answer, or at least get it down to a 50-50 shot. And sometimes that's all you need on the real exam. So pay attention to how she does these techniques, how she applies these strategies, and don't focus on whatever the question is because you're not going to really need it.
Right.
Probably not. Doesn't matter. The questions that you see aren't going to be on the exam anyway. Rule number 2, how do we get good at something? We got to practice. We can't be like Allen Iverson. We got to be like Kobe, get some championships, put it in the practice. And we want you to do that in a 10-question flash quiz, a very specific way. 10 questions, 10 minutes. Doesn't matter what question bank you're using. Doesn't matter what exam you're doing. Doesn't matter at all. Just make sure to do it in 10 minutes, 10 questions, and just apply the techniques because we don't want you overthinking. We don't want you second guessing. We don't want you reading over and over again. We just want you to apply the techniques and start learning those techniques the only way you can really do it, and that is by doing it.
And that's perfect way of saying it. Because guys, if you give yourself 10 minutes per one question, you went beyond the technique. You went beyond the shortcut. You went beyond the content. You're thinking way too much.
You are thinking way too much. And
Yeah.
then you fell into the sarlacc of not getting out of that question.
Sarlacc words.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. The security for the transaction, the number of shares or units for the transaction, whether to buy or sell, timing and price only. So check this out, guys. Not only do we have the word and, but we also have the word only.
Yeah.
Now, this is huge.
It's a double.
Well,
Kinda.
if you look, for some reason, if you're new to us, for some reason, if an answer choice has, if only one of the 4 answer choices has the word and, a lot of times it's the answer. Can't explain it. It doesn't always have to do with 2 things. It's just something that's there. And then when we see a must, an only, a never, or an always, we know this to be usually, not every time, but usually not true. So I got 2 things going for me in this answer choice.
What
right?
you got?
Now I looked at the question. Thank you. I looked at the question and obviously, now look, guys, Kaplan, this is from Kaplan, bolds the accepts, bolds the not trues. When I took my test, none of these were bolded. Now, somebody said that they saw a couple of questions, I think it was the SIE, that did have it bolded, but don't rely on that. Does that make sense? Don't
I
rely.
haven't heard a lot of people say it was bolded.
Somebody a couple days ago said that they had a couple of questions.
Maybe they blurred their eyes.
Yeah, I don't know. But don't rely on that. But I did take it to the end. I saw the accept. I said, you know what? I'm going to click on this one. And that was the answer. Okay.
I feel like that was more explanation than needed.
I know. I just thought it was the first question. Get the ball rolling.
I think we should go quicker now.
Okay, cool. So I got permitted if the secretary is also registered as an agent. A violation in certain states. Permitted if the secretary is also registered as an agent. Whoa, hold on, wait a minute. Boom. That's the same. That's the same. And check this out. It has an and.
It does.
And there's this awesome word called appropriate. I don't know why. That's a great test word. Appropriate. Okay.
Usually means it's leaning towards the correct answer.
So this is what we would call similar. Chances are it's one of those.
I find like appropriate's like the legal jargon.
It is, especially when you talk about appropriate supervisory. Like that's just like good legal talk, right?
Especially if you're familiar with legal papers, you'll see a lot of this kind of stuff, right?
Yes. So, yes. So that
That's it.
did we have to know about splitting commissions with a secretary?
No.
Nah. And there you go. All right. Refer evidence for prosecution. Administer oaths. Set margin requirements or subpoena witnesses.
Okay,
Look,
three sound courty, only one sound securities.
look. That's exactly what I was going to go for, right? This sounded, you said securities?
Yeah, that one seems like the thing I'm studying for. The other three do not.
Absolutely. Check it out, guys. Watch.
What am I in Law and Order? I mean, that's the vibe I got.
Yeah, and honestly, gives the power that gives the SEC power to do all the following except, and you're gonna be like, but Brandy, this says securities, and it says except, and it says security. Doesn't matter. Don't matter. Don't read too much into it. I can explain it later, but
Well, these are the questions that people would get wrong because they're looking way too far in it and got severely batty about what is the right answer and
yeah,
just got the wrong answer because they just
overthought it.
overthought it and just wouldn't lean on the technique.
Exactly.
So
What?
many times people put questions up in the Discord, and I, who do not look at these questions the same way as Brandy does, I look at them purely, can I get it right without asking Brandy, is that right? And this is one of them. I would have said it's C, and she would have asked me why, and I would have said just because of the technique. And then the person got it wrong, and they're like, "But I thought it was." Who cares what you thought it was? That's the answer. Learn the technique.
When in doubt, go for the technique.
Yes, sometimes it is that.
Yeah. Determine the annual interest paid on a bond, evaluate the risk of investing in a bond, compute their income tax liability, or translate future cash flows to be received from interest and principal. Okay, so
Another and.
and it's really long. Now, look, guys, I didn't cherry pick these questions. But as you guys can see, and is a very common thing that's happening
It's a
tonight.
common theme.
It is very common. And so I did look at the question and I said, oh, well, it talks about cash flow and it talks about cash flow. And it has the and. Why am I not just picking D?
10 questions, 10 minutes. That's how you do it. On to the next.
All right. Market manipulation, high frequency trading, front running, market making. I could say, well, this one says market and that one says market, right? This has 3 words, right? And then I decided, well, I'm going to word match this thing. Even if I wanted to pick between A and D, I needed to word match. So I went into the question and it was like large investors using high speed. High speed sounds like high frequency. I went with that. Boom. That's it.
But but
That's it. That's it. Don't that. Shh.
how many of you are still reading the question and trying to figure it out the old fashioned way? That's what I thought.
Don't. Examine customer stock certificates, manage client accounts on a discretionary basis, refer clients to an affiliated broker dealer, or have physical custody over clients' monies and certificates. Fun fact, didn't see the and when I pulled this question. But
Tonight's episode is brought to you by and.
by the letter A-N-D. Fosters, so I didn't see that. So let's pretend I didn't see that, right? And it says, I just kind of read fast, and it says, oops, don't move that. Sorry, hold on, guys. Gotta put that back on the screen here. And it says custody may not. I went, well, if it says custody may not, have custody. If it says you can't have custody, what can you not do? Oh, wait.
Custody.
The word says prohibited right there. Boom. And it has the and.
We just said you can't.
Prohibits custody. What might not you do? Have custody. Says you can't. Why would you have it? Boom. Done.
This is a simple one also of just answering what the dang question is.
This would have worked on a Monday night
This
as
is
well.
answer the dang question. Some of y'all have a hard time answering what the question's actually asking you.
Yeah.
You're trying so hard to fit it into whatever you were studying and reading, but the answer was there all along. Just answer the question and move along. Have you, I mean, I know, okay, I'm not trying to make this political or anything, and I'm not going to, because this has happened for years. So years and years and years. This isn't just something new. But if you've ever watched one of those like grand jury things in front of Congress, or anytime anybody goes in front of Congress or in court or any of those things, it's almost nerve wracking. They'll ask a direct question: is it a yes or no? And they'll never say yes or no ever. And you're like, why can't you just say yes or no? Yes or no? And then they make it more complicated. That is literally what some of you do when you answer these questions. Just answer the dang question. Don't make it complicated. Don't read more into it. Who cares about why you've seen it in a book somewhere that what? Answer the dang question. The question had nothing to do with, like, if you read that question, it really, all it was asking you to identify is the fact that you can't have custody when it just told you can't have custody.
Yeah,
That had nothing to do with anything else.
that's it.
All the rest of it was just all smoke and mirrors and nonsense.
Hey, you can't do this. So what can't you do?
That thing you just said I can't do.
That's literally that question.
You said I can't ride my bike. So I'm going to go ahead and not pick the one that says I ride my bike.
What may not you do?
Ride my bike. Easy.
Mhm.
That's it. Sometimes it might be even easier to take the word custody out and put another word in there and see if it makes sense to you.
By the way, for all of you who might be intimidated for taking the Series 65 exam,
That was the Series 65 questions.
all of them.
All of them. And people go, well, it's the hardest. It's all mindset. It's all mind frame. It doesn't matter what exam it is. We keep doing this every night, every week, Monday through Thursday for free, all the time for all you members. Speaking of which, we don't have that members session tomorrow, but it's a great time to catch up on what happened on Monday. We will have that replay go out on Monday, or from Monday going out Wednesday as a live drop. So all you members, look for that live drop tomorrow morning. But it's a great way to go through the archives, check out everything we have on our membership area, and go through those videos, put technique in the search, look at all the stuff we have, look up an OMS video or look up a live quiz, learn some of the stuff, and just play it over and over again. You don't need to go through all of them. Find a good one and just watch it over and over again. Watch it 10 times, 20 times. I've honestly thought about deleting everything and just keeping the one, and people just watch the one 20 times over, because it doesn't matter how many different times or how many different questions, they still apply. They'll still work. But you got to get it in your brain, and then you got to go practice. Go get that 10-question flash quiz right now. We enjoy all of you, and we are extremely blessed to have you here. I don't want you all to think, I don't want you guys to ever think that we are not blessed to have you. We are completely blessed, and we are blessed to help you out. And in any way you ever need help, just go ahead and contact us, see what we can do to help you out. Paying us or not, it's okay. You can reach out. We'll help you out the best we can, especially if you're on that Discord. But we will be back tomorrow night. Not tomorrow day, but we'll be back tomorrow night for the free. Until then, everybody, stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't touch your friend's face. That's all I know. Keep the positive mental attitude. PMA. Everybody have a great night.
Thank you all so much for being on. We so super appreciate you. Practice these techniques in your quizzes. We will see you guys tomorrow night. Have a great one.